Hey guys, and welcome back to a new review on this channel. Today we will not review the newest and hottest smartphone products from our dear friends at Cupertino, but rather look back almost 3 years in time when Apple had just released their back then fastest and most advanced smartphone yet, the iPhone 6s. The first thing that will stand out to you when you pick up the iPhone 6s is its still similar design to the newest iPhone models currently available. The iPhone 6s front is dominated by a 4.7-inch LCD display with a resolution of 1333 by 750, and yes, that means that the iPhone 6s has a pixel per inch count of 326, which makes it a certified Retina display. Although the newer iPhone displays are even sharper and have an even wider color gamut, I still sometimes catch myself being impressed by the sharpness and color range that the 6s's display has. And to all the tech YouTubers that say that they can notice pixels on the 6s's screen, or even go as far as to demand a 2K or higher resolution screen on a phone screen. Come on, it's a phone! What sense would a 2K or even higher resolution screen make when you can't even see the pixels on this screen anymore? Or are you guys looking at your phone displays like,
Yep, I can definitely see the pixels.
Just under the display we can still find the iconic home button with the second generation Touch ID technology inside it, which means that your phone will unlock noticeably faster and will work correctly more consistently and often than before. On the very bottom of the device we can not only find a speaker grill and the lightning port for charging your device, but also a, wait for it, headphone jack! Yes! The iPhone 6s was the last iPhone that was still spared from Apple's
courage.
So enjoy your music by simply plugging in your 3.5mm headphone jacks to your phone without needing to use an adapter that makes it unable for you to charge the device at the same time, or having to buy an expensive wireless headset instead. On the very top of the 6s we find a 720p front-facing camera, and while it isn't the best front-facing camera right now on smartphones by any means, it is still really good at taking the by all of you so beloved selfies. If we turn the iPhone around, we are greeted by a 12 megapixel camera on the top. This camera was Apple's first iPhone camera that was able to shoot videos at a maximum resolution of 4K 30 frames per second. It also sports a 120 frames per second Full HD and 240 frames per second 720p slow motion mode. And while newer iPhones already have 4K 60 FPS, the quality of the backside camera on the iPhone 6s is still as amazing and sharp as it was back then, and in my opinion is still more than enough for everyday snaps, but also some more sophisticated photos here and there as well. Inside the iPhone, the 1.85 GHz dual-core Apple A9 is hard at work to make your experience on the iPhone 6s as perfect as possible. And yes, even in 2018 and with Apple's newest public beta of iOS 11.4, the everyday experience is silky smooth and fast. There was never a moment where the time it needed to open an app felt too long for me. On the contrary, it always felt fast and responsive, as it should be. To be honest, I haven't tested newer, more demanding games on my iPhone, simply because in my case, I never really game on my phone whatsoever. But I can imagine that in more intensive games, the performance difference between the A9 and its later generations might show more clearly. But wait, don't click off from this video yet. Mainstream games like Candy Crush or Clash of Clans are of course easily able to be played on the iPhone 6s, and even if newer iPhone CPUs might run some more demanding games even better, that doesn't mean that the A9 can give you a more than playable experience, even in more demanding games on the go. And even with the only 2GB of LPDDR4 RAM that the iPhone has, it is still having no problems to multitask between different apps without a hitch. Also beside the A9 is its smaller brother, the M9 Motion coprocessor, which takes on smaller tasks like counting your footsteps or some background works in order to not use the more power-hungry main CPU and save you some of that precious battery life on your iPhone. Speaking of battery life, the iPhone 6s has a 1715 mAh battery inside it, and while this might not sound like very much, I wouldn't worry too much actually. I use my phone quite a lot on a daily basis. On more intense use, I sometimes admittedly have to charge my phone midday, but on normal use I can use my phone throughout the day with a single charge easily. So you might have noticed from the overall tone of this review that my experience with this iPhone has been and still is incredible. I never had any major problems with it, and the phone never slowed down or showed any signs of aging. To be honest, I have yet to find a major flaw that would make me reconsider recommending the phone to others. It is that good. So yes guys, the iPhone 6s is still in 2018 a more than capable and usable smartphone. The performance is as fluent as you would expect from a smartphone. I have yet to encounter an app that put this iPhone to its absolute limits and make it stutter. And I'm pretty sure that Apple will continue to support this phone software-wise with the upcoming iOS 12 and most likely the following year with iOS 13 as well. So support-wise, the iPhone 6s has got you covered as well. And the photos and videos that you're able to take with it are really gorgeous as well. So if you're a bit short on money, but want to get a taste of Apple's mobile ecosystem, then trust me when I say that you don't need the brand new iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10. The iPhone 6s still kicks some good computing ass and is a smartphone that I would not hesitate to recommend. The only question that is now left to answer for yourself is, what is more important to you? Having the newest iPhone just because you wanna be that one guy with the iPhone 10? Or getting a way cheaper iPhone that still does everything that you need it to do on a daily basis and is a way better deal and choice altogether.
So I can see you writing already in the comments, why would you review the iPhone 6s, a phone that is almost 3 years old now? What's the point? The point that I'm trying to get across is that you should not only consider phones like the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10 the newest and most greatest phones to buy. No, you should also look back in time. Look at phones like the iPhone 6s, phones that are almost 3 years old now and considered old or shit even by some reviewers. Look at them, because I tell you, first of all, this phone is selling for half or even less than half than the iPhone 10. And it still gives you silky smooth performance on the newest software with a 4K video capturing option, with a crisp and high color display. It's really a remarkable phone still. I know it's 3 years old, and sure, the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 are way better than it. But let's be honest guys, for the majority of the tasks that we use throughout our daily lives, do we really need the new iPhone 10? Do we really need that horsepower? Do we really need that 4K 60 frames camera with that dual lens setup in the back? Do we really need an HDR screen on a phone? Do we really need Face ID? Or isn't even actually Touch ID second generation better than Face ID right now? You know, it's stuff like this that really annoys me, because there are people, I know so many people out there, they're like, I can't buy an iPhone is way too expensive, but I still want to buy an iPhone. And then they blow all their money at the iPhone 10, and then I see those exact people and they haven't even changed the settings in the camera to run and photograph at the full resolution, and they're like shooting video at 1080p 30 or 60 frames. I'm not even joking, those people exist. So what I'm trying to tell you guys to conclude this video, you don't need the newest, most exciting, most epic, most expensive hardware to have a really great experience. Because I know so many guys that are like, I need the new iPhone 10, I need the new Galaxy S9, I need the new Huawei M20 Pro, and so on and so on. And guys, back then I was that guy too. But let's face it, I've got this phone now for over 2 years, and again, I have no reason to upgrade. The pictures are beautiful. It's not like when the iPhone 10 comes out, the pictures get worse on this. It's still an amazing quality, and I still can record in 4K on this thing, which again is incredible actually if you think about it. But still, what I'm trying to say is, you don't need the newest, most exciting and most epic and most expensive hardware to have a great experience. Open your mind a bit, widen your view, and also look at older products, because not only will you get them cheaper, but just the price performance after a while will be so much better. So to finally conclude this video guys, let's face it, the iPhone 6s has been an awesome phone when it was released, and thanks to Apple's various updates and refinements, it is still in 2018 a more than recommendable and still awesome smartphone. That's me, David. signing off. Have a good one.